Hey guys, the show's about to start. Sit back, relax, take a hit, and enjoy.
Hey guys, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to DojaLand757 for sponsoring this episode. Why don't you guys go over there to his Instagram at Doja_land_ and always let him know that Toke Talk sent you. So, welcome to 420 News, and I know it's been a while, and I apologize. So, little update, I'm only going to do 2 shows a week. I'm going to do a After Dark, and I'm going to do a 420 News. I'll throw in there a couple of creepypastas, most likely, so just look out for those. I will be posting on Instagram, Rumble, and YouTube, so that's where you can find my podcast, and then also any platform that plays podcast. Just go check them out. And biggest supporter would be Spotify, so go over there and give me a like and a follow, and I'll follow you back. So we'll get right up into it. Ohio is up for a vote to make it a 24th state to legalize recreational marijuana for non-medical card users, and it's looking really good. Ohio's status as heartland and its very heavy marijuana users are giving the cannabis industry hope as potential vote on legalization approaches this fall. So I think that's amazing. Ohio, definitely a good spot to do that, because Maryland's PA has medical, all that's around there. So, I mean, why not? But with all that being said, they're talking about around 34% of Mid-Eastern cannabis users reported using it multiple times a day, as compared to 31% of cannabis users in other states, according to the report. While they were buffered slightly by a lower ratio to the national average of those who used it once every day or 2. It could be significant since cannabis companies rely most heavily on their highest using customers. So in the Midwest, I'm looking at a pie chart. The Midwest, multiple times a day, 34%, and all recreational markets, 31%. In the Midwest, once or twice a day, 28 people. And the average of all recreational markets are 32. Once a month or once a week, 21 and 22. And then once every few years, 17 and 55. Given the long history of enforcement and stigma against cannabis in this part of the country, save for Ann Arbor, Michigan, which decriminalized possession of cannabis in 1974, not without controversy. That's interesting, because I did not even know that. That's actually like crazy. That's awesome. It's possible that the legalization is opening opportunities that civilians are taking full advantage of, New Frontier noted in a report, August 8 report. So that's really interesting. Of course, like a lot of your recreational stuff does come out of Michigan. A lot of it does. I was actually recently went to Maryland and went to a recreational cannabis place, and I actually tried some stuff called Holy Gelato, and it was grown in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and it's actually really, really good. So if you guys ever get a hold of that strand, I would definitely recommend it. So I'm getting off topic. So basically, here in about a month and a half, they don't have a date on here. Ohio will be going up for recreational marijuana vote, and hopefully they get it, because through the polls, it's looking really, really good. So I would definitely say it's future projections in Ohio are looking like a first 10 years of Colorado, which is going to be amazing if they can do that. So if they did vote on it and it did pass, their recreational sale would start August 1st, 2023. So hopefully that gets done and we'll have the 24th state. And we're almost halfway there. Just remember, get out there and vote. This takes us to a local Virginia pilot article I read, and it's actually heartbreaking with all the new laws and the shifting of laws and stuff like that. So shout out to the Virginia pilot for providing this article. Barren shelves are greeting customers at local hemp shops in Virginia Beach. That's terrible. That's terrible. And they interviewed a Savannah Griffith of Hemp Spectrum in Virginia Beach, and they are one of 5 vendors left out there right now because of the new hemp laws that were passed. And she sold a range of items including teas, salves, oils, edibles. Sorry, And Griffith used to stock a wide range of items, and recently their shelves have been super empty because of the new the hemp laws that took into place when the new governor took in. The new regulations created stricter rules for labeling and packaging and required cannabis products to contain at least a 25-to-1 ratio of CBD or cannabinoids to THC, the compound in cannabis that can produce a high. It has also established civil penalties of up to $10,000 for each day a violation occurs. That's fucking crazy. That's nuts. Shame on our politicians for that one. The new law was intended to end the so-called Wild West days of states' hemp industry. Some cannabis consumer manufacturers, shop owners, however, argue it's only creating confusion for everyone involved. Now, some say the states recently stalled budget negotiations on making matters worse. Most of this stuff is tied to the budget, said Jason Blanchard, president of the Virginia Cannabis Association. It's kind of a mess, quite frankly, quote unquote. According to the Virginia Department of Agriculture, Consumer Services have tasked with enforcing the new laws and assisting businesses with the transition. Although the bill was already signed into law, the $2.2 million in funding needed to support the agency must be approved in the state's budget plan. An additional $632,000 is also needed to fund 5 new positions in the Office of Attorney General. That's wild. That's wild. So it's looking like the hemp industry is going downhill right now. It's crazy. So I don't really understand what they're trying to do. I mean, we had one governor come in and we were supposed to be legalization sales in 2024. And it's actually 2023, but they pushed it back because of a vote, which is just terrible. It's getting outrageous in my opinion. I think they should I've been to a state and witnessed it firsthand, and it's not a bad system. Like with the dispensary I went to, you walked in, you showed them an ID, you signed in, it lets you know you can only have so much of raw flower per day and concentrates per day, and you can't come back for the day. You got to come back the next day. I don't understand why they can't do it. They tax it at each item at 12.5%, each item, not all together. And I mean, and I only spent $10 on a 1 gram joint. I mean, it wasn't overpriced. I got a really solid eighth of some Blue Dream from Ann Arbor, Michigan, that was phenomenal, and it was only $30. I mean, it's getting out of hand. Virginia needs to do their thing. The next vote needs to be solid. Just push it through. I guess once we get the old governor back in, I think everything will go smooth, and we can get it passed. So next week on 420 News, I'm going to have a special guest on it, and hopefully you guys tune in and find out who that is. There's no spoiler alerts on that. It's a special guest. He's actually been on the show before, but come check that out. It'll be about next week. Make sure you guys go over there to Toke Talk _radio to get all the information as the week goes about, as the weekend turns. Just make sure you guys go over there to YouTube, Spotify, and Rumble and give me a like and a follow, and I definitely will follow you back. And once again, thank you DojaLand757 for sponsoring this episode. Make sure you guys go over there to his Instagram at Doja_Land_. Follow his Telegram, and always remember, tell him Toke Talk sent you. And hopefully you guys like this. I'll have a Toke Talk After Dark out later on this weekend. I'm going to take some time and get one out there, and hopefully you guys are still out there, Toke Talk family. I know it's been a while, and I apologize. And until the next episode, always remember, keep your tinfoil hat and your bowls close. You never know what may happen.